right, welcome back. We're in Khan Academy. Algebra 1 is the course, and we're looking in the unit Quadratics Multiplying and Factoring. We're on Factoring Quadratics Intro, and I want to show you another way to think about or to write your work for solving this kind of problem. Factor as the product of two binomials. So that looks like this. We're going to say x squared minus 9x plus 20 equals a product of two binomials. So we're going to multiply two binomials. The way we get our first term is x times x gives us x squared. The way we get our last term is we have to have constants here. A constant here times a constant there is going to give us 20. We don't know what that is yet. There are several options, right? 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. Those are our options, and we're going to write those in a moment. But let's say we don't know what they are yet. So let's put A and B here. Okay, and then, so we know that 20 has to equal A times B. All right, which means that A and B have to be either 1 times 20, or 2 times 10, or 4 times 5. Those are our options for A and B, the values of them. Now, we need to think about our sign. We multiply these two numbers and it has to make a positive. Those two numbers are going to be both positive if we want a product that's positive, or another option is to have them both be negative. Negative times a negative is a positive. The only thing we can't do is have a negative times a positive or a positive times a negative. They both have to have the same sign. Now, how do we know whether it's plus a positive times a positive or a negative times a negative? We look at the middle term, because this middle term comes from multiplying x times b and adding it to a times x. Okay? So, we're getting a negative by adding things. Well, if both of those things are positive and we add, the result's going to be positive. But if both of them are negative and we add them, we'll have a negative result. So we know for sure this is subtraction. Now, let's multiply this out and see what it looks like. It goes x times x is x squared. X times negative b is negative bx. Negative a times x is negative a times x. And then negative a times negative b is positive ab. Okay, so we know right now we have to get a 20 when we multiply a and b. We have our options over here. Okay, let's look at this middle term. The number of x's we need is negative 9 x's. Okay, so let's factor out x, because we have an x in both of these terms. So we'll say x squared minus, actually we're going to add, okay, so we're going to add, we're factoring x out of this. If we do x times what gives us negative bx? Well, that'd be negative b. And x times what gives me negative a? That's negative a. Okay, so compare this form here. We've got x squared and x squared. That's good. We've got negative 9x. This is x times this stuff. Well, this stuff has to equal negative 9 if we're going to have the right solution. So let's write that. We'll have negative b minus a has to equal negative 9. All right? Well, our options for a and b are right here. So let's see which one of them is true. in this case, negative b is negative 20, okay? So, let's do it this way. So, if we do negative b minus a, that's negative 20, minus 1 is negative 21. Well, that's not negative 9, so this is not the right answer for a and b. Negative 10 minus 2 is negative 12, so that's not the right answer. And then negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9. That's true, that's what we wanted. So these must be the value of a and b in this equation. So up here, we've figured out that it's a equals 4 and b equals 5. And now we have our solution. So x minus 4 times x minus 5 gives us this polynomial, and we'll enter that answer. X minus 4 times x minus 5. We'll put that first parenthesis on there. There we go. Put our last parenthesis on there. There we go. And that is done.